Hey there, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all doing fine and excited to see a new video. Today we are going to satisfy our BMW enthusiast follower because we will dive into the yearly maintenance of a BMW E90 or E91 equipped with the M47 or M57 engine. Same procedure can be applicable also to other cars, BMW cars, that are equipped with the same engine, eventually with some slight differences, but the concept is exactly the same. As usual, I'm talking eventually too much, so stop to talk and start to work. Let's go! More precisely, we are going to replace cabin filter, air filter, oil and oil filter, and of course reset the service on the dash. To facilitate the watching, I've split the video into chapters, so feel free to skip to the part that you are interested about, but let's stop to talk and pop up the hood. This is where is located the cabin filter, and the cover is secured by a couple of screws here and 4 8mm nuts over there. So let's start by removing the cover. And here you can see there are just one is broken here, but there are 2 clips there that are securing the filter. Here you can see on the detail this part that was not installed properly, and in fact was below the cover. And here you can see is the same over here, so it was not perfectly installed. Be careful that there is an airflow direction when you install the filter. And these are the conditions of a cabin filter that was used for roughly 2 years and 22,000 kilometers. Do you know how to choose the cabin filter that fits perfectly to your needs? If not, please post a comment and we will create a dedicated video where we will describe in details how to choose a cabin filter. Let's install the new filter on the car. And this is how it is intended to be installed, not as before. So perfectly in line. This plastic part should be in because this plastic part here keeping the filter well anchored to there. And here there should be 3 of these clips, but on my car you see 1 and 2 are gone. Now we can simply clean a bit over here and reinstall the filter. And this is gone. Next step is to replace the air filter that is located below this cover here. So we have to dismount this cover. To remove the cover, there are just 2 5mm Allen keys. And then just pull it up, and this is out. Next up is to remove this cover here, and that's not so fancy. So to facilitate the access, eventually we could consider to remove this part here that is secured by a few torques. So there is this one, here and this one here. So let's use these 3 torques so we can remove this part eventually. And in my case, you see, this is broken, so eventually I could even consider to not remove this one, but your hopefully is in better condition, so this part is better to take it out. And also this part is gone. The filter is below this cover. I think this side part can be easily removed, so there is just this screw, as far as I recall. It's quite a while that I do not do this replacement, but I recall that I struggled quite much. So eventually we have to remove this cover entirely. We have to remove the screws that is on the back side here. It means that then we have to remove also all this bar. Not was very easy to remove, and with that we removed this cover, and what you see here, this black color, is our filter. And you see, you cannot remove it out from here, so we have to remove this one. So no way, we have to remove this part here. Not too bad. Remove again the filter, the cabin filter. Cabin filter out again. And now we have to remove this one. To remove this part here, we have to open this clip. One here and one is on the back side. So we can pull out this part here. One is here and the other is here. Same procedure, so just pull out the 2 plastic and this clip over here like that, and this is out. Then we have to remove this plastic cover here. So there is one screw here, there is this one, and the same is on the other side. We have to disconnect also this sensor and remove the wiring here. So now this part is free. So here we have the last screw. Let me show it. Here is located the last screw. That means that to remove this one, we need to unlock this screw. So to remove this screw, we have to remove this one. To remove this one, we have to remove this nut and one nut behind that cover. Come out and you see, this is marked above and this is marked below. Now we have access on top of this screw to that one. So this one and this one will permit us to remove this cover here. And now we can finally... Ouch! Luckily, the missing 2 cylinders helped me quite much to retrieve the missing screw. finally, here is our filter, and as you can see, it was definitely worth to be replaced. These are the two filters, and if you wonder how many kilometers was having this one, if I recall correctly, we are talking about less than 20k kilometers. And one thing to recall or to remember is you can see how it's made here. So this part here must be fitted over here and should be on the bottom side. Now just put all the parts back together and the air filter replacement is considered done. First step, if to replace the oil filter, is to remove the front cover of the engine that is secured by two 5mm Allen keys. If you wonder why I have removed again the engine front cover, is because now we have to replace the engine oil, and the the oil filter is located here. So that's why I removed the cover again. But now it's time to lift up the car in order to drain the oil down. To lift the car, we are going to use the central lifting point that is marked with the red arrow there, and then we will place the two jack stands on the points that are marked too, that are the side lifting points. These cars are pretty low, so the use of a couple of pieces of wood will facilitate us by gaining a couple of centimeters of clearance from the ground. This is a close-up view of the central lifting point, and to replace the oil is not needed to remove the lower engine guard, but I need to do it in order to gain few more centimeters of clearance from the ground, as I have a quite small hydraulic jack. So without the engine under cover, you can see much better where is the jacking point, and without the cover, as mentioned, even with a small lifter, we have been able to raise up the car and put here our jack stands. So now we are in a safe condition, and this very dirty one is our oil tap. So let's unscrew it and drain all the oil out. It's a 17mm. The warm oil can be flushed much easier, so be careful of the temperatures. And to facilitate the drain, we will lift up the oil stick, and we are going also to remove the oil filter that is a 36mm sock. Of course, in the kit it was included also a brand new copper washer, so we have to replace the old one with the new one before reinstalling the oil tap. And don't forget, we have a copper washer, so we need to tighten it, but not too much, just the right. Typically in the kit, on top of this o-ring, that is the one that goes here, there is an o-ring here
hopefully you can see it, this one, but this time there was no spare in the kit. That's a pity, because it's typically useful to replace this one. To remove the filter, you have just to really gently pull it, and then same way pull in the new one. And of course we have to replace also this O-ring here. What's important, let's put some oil over the new O-ring. So let's just oil it a bit. Ready to reinstall. And here, I'm not sure if you can see, it's also highlighted that is 25.5 Newton meter, if you like to know how much exactly to tighten it. It's now time to install the new filter into the car, into the engine. Let's put a bit more of oil on the O-ring and then just tighten it back. Then it's time to fill the engine with fresh oil, and I will insert the exact amount that I've drained out, and later on we will check precisely the right oil level. Few more steps to go. Don't forget the oil tap, and then of course we have to install back the front engine cover. Now that we are sure that we had fulfilled the oil circuit, it's time to check more precisely the oil level. So just pull out the stick, clean up the stick, insert it back, pull it out, and now you can see here that we must be just a bit below the maximum. So let's fill the engine with a bit more oil, wait 10 to 20 seconds, pull up the stick again, clean it up, pull it in, pull it back, and check if the oil level is correct. It's much better to be a bit below the maximum than over it, especially with these diesel cars. So our level is now perfect. Last part of this video is now to reset the service light. Ignition on. From this moment, the procedure could be a bit different based on the region and year of your car. What you have to secure is to go through this initial service check, that in my case, to enter into it, I need to start the engine. Then you have to wait until the entire check is completed, and you will see that it is completed at the moment that you will see on the display listed the time and external temperature. Then push and hold. Alright, so now we see all the possible things that we need to reset. So we go to the oil, we push, we use this one to move up and down, so to the one that we want. Now we want to reset the oil, so we have to push and hold this one, say reset, wait till the clock disappear, and now the reset is done. Next step will be 2025 and 30,000 km. Job done. I hope this video will help you on performing the maintenance of your BMW E90, and hopefully to save also some time and money.
Please consider to subscribe and see you next week for a new video. Ciao, ciao!